Today, we are diving deep into one of the most famous, most foundational works on the philosophy of love ever written, Plato's Symposium. In ancient Greece, poets often talked about love as this kind of divine madness, this chaotic force you just couldn't control. But Plato, he does something completely radical. He takes love and treats it not as a subject for poetry, but for serious, rigorous philosophy, sparking a debate that has literally shaped Western thought for over 2,000 years.
And just to give you a sense of its importance, the famous translator Benjamin Jowett called it the most perfect in form of all of Plato's works, saying it holds more wisdom than anyone has ever fully unpacked. I mean, that's a pretty big claim, right? So, what secrets about love are hiding inside this ancient dialogue? Well, let's find out. Okay, so to really understand the Symposium, first you've got to picture the scene. We're not in some stuffy lecture hall, we're at a dinner party, a philosophical party, where ideas are the main course. Let's travel back in time. The year is 416 BCE. We're in Athens at the house of a poet named Agathon. Now, he's just won a huge award, so he's throwing a big banquet to celebrate. His guests are basically the brightest minds in the entire city. And after a night of some pretty heavy drinking the day before, they all decide, you know what? Let's take it easy on the wine tonight and have a different kind of contest. So instead of the usual musicians or dancers, one of the guests, a physician named Aristophanes, proposes a challenge. He says, let's each deliver a speech, a eulogy in praise of Eros, the god of love. This simple idea sets the stage for this incredible clash of perspectives, featuring a playwright, a doctor, a comedian, and of course, the master philosopher himself, Socrates. Now, this is where things get really fascinating. Each speech paints a completely different picture of what love is. It's almost like taking a tour through the human hearts, and each speaker is your guide to a totally different part of it. Let's hit a few of the most memorable highlights. First up, Pausanias gets the ball rolling with this really crucial distinction. He argues, hey, there isn't just one kind of love, there are two. On one hand, you have earthly love. This is the common stuff, purely physical, just drawn to the body. But then he says there's heavenly love, this higher form that's drawn to the soul, that inspires us to be better, to seek virtue and wisdom. He's basically telling everyone to aim higher in love.
And then you get the comedian, Aristophanes. And wow, does he tell a story for the ages. He says that humans, we were originally these round creatures with 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 faces, the whole deal. We were so powerful that we actually threatened the gods. So what does Zeus do? He splits us in 2. And ever since then, we've just been wandering the earth, desperately searching for our other half. Sound familiar? Yep, this is one of the very first articulations of the soulmate idea. And this line just nails it. For Aristophanes, love isn't just some feeling. No, it's a fundamental human need. It's this deep, profound longing to heal the wound of our original separation and finally become whole again. The other guests offer their own unique takes too. The host, Agathon, gives this beautiful flowery speech describing love as the source of all good things, the youngest and most beautiful of all the gods. Then, the doctor, Aristophanes, offers a more, scientific view. He sees love not just in people, but as this cosmic force that creates harmony everywhere, in medicine, in music, even in the changing of the seasons. So, we've had poetry, we've had mythology, we've had science. The speeches are all brilliant, but they also feel a little incomplete. You can feel everyone in the room waiting, right? They're all thinking, what does the wisest man in Athens have to say about the greatest subject of all? And when it's finally Socrates' turn, he does what he always does. Instead of just giving another speech, he completely changes the entire game. Socrates starts off in classic Socrates fashion. He claims he doesn't know anything himself. Instead, he just recounts what he was taught by a wise woman named Diotima. And she revealed something shocking to him. Love isn't a god at all. Love, she said, is a spirit, a powerful force that exists between the mortal world and the divine. And its most important feature is that it desires what it lacks, things like beauty, goodness, and wisdom. And this is where we get to the core of it. Diotima lays out this incredible path, a journey she calls the ladder of love. It all starts with a physical. First, you fall in love with one beautiful body, but then you learn to see and appreciate the beauty in all bodies. From there, you climb higher to loving inner beauty, the beauty of people's souls and minds. Then you keep going, loving the beauty of good laws and institutions, then the beauty of knowledge itself, until finally, at the very top of the ladder,
You get a glimpse of beauty itself, absolute, pure, and eternal.
So, what's the point of this whole climb? It isn't just to see something pretty. By contemplating this ultimate form of beauty, a person is completely transformed. They're no longer just reproducing physically, having children. Instead, they're able to give birth to true creations of virtue and wisdom. Love becomes the very engine of philosophy, the path to living a truly meaningful life.
Now, this was an absolutely revolutionary idea. It reframed love not as just a feeling, but as a philosophical quest. And its influence has been, well, it's been immense.
You have to remember, before Plato, love was mostly the domain of poets and playwrights. But the Symposium turned it into a central philosophical concept. It presented what one scholar called the passion of the reason, this incredible idea that our deepest desires, if we guide them correctly, can actually lead us to the highest truths. And you can literally trace this idea through the centuries. In ancient Greece, it gave us the whole concept of platonic love. Fast forward to the Renaissance, and you find artists and poets completely obsessed with these ideas. Then the Romantic era latched onto Aristophanes' myth, fueling that cultural search for a soulmate that we still talk about. And even today, this idea that love should be a force for personal growth, that comes directly from this ancient dinner party.
So it really leaves us with a powerful question, doesn't it? In our modern world of fleeting connections and dating apps, does Plato's vision of love as a ladder, as an ascent towards something good and true, does it still have something profound to teach us? Can our deepest affections still be a guide toward a more meaningful life?
This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.